Do you remember? I know you remember
What?
the shoots that used to make me go do the vignettes.
Oh my God.
I've heard about these, but
Those were great.
Oh, they came out great.
They were fun.
Oh, they were anything but fun.
They were fun. No, man.
Kamala's casket.
Well, remember there was Kamala's casket. I still have the blueprint of Kamala's coffin.
I've got it as well. Yeah.
And in some Bethlehem or wherever the hell we were, we had to go out and do that. That was fun in the freezing cold. So I wanted to see his breath. I said, I want to see your breath. And so he's like, really? We can't have any heaters? I said, no, it's got to be cold.
We did.
It's got to be cold so that every time you speak, I see the breath. And I said, so the more you can breathe in and get that cold in there. So see her. He and Paul Bear are freezing to death. And they're cursing me because I'm watching the monitor. I'm producing. I've got a heater.
Layered.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in gimmick. I'm in my gimmick.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
layered.
So you had a big coat on,
Huh?
no?
I'm in
Yeah. Oh, he had the
spandex.
coat on. Yeah, he had a
Okay,
coat
yeah,
on.
big leather coat.
No, it's not big. It was big, but the material was a little bit thin.
We might have had to spritz his head often.
A little bit, yeah, just to get the
Keep
look.
the look, right?
Yeah.
Keep the look.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Consistent.
That was great. Flesh freezing.
Flesh freezing. That was after the Rumble in '93.
Yeah. Put him out in
That's
middle.
when I ascended out of the.
I only had one night with him to get all this stuff done.
Got it done though.
We did get it done.
Weeks and weeks of vignettes.
Yes. in flesh freezing winds.
Like how many hours? Like literally all
that
night.
was that one. That one we started probably about 10 or 11. No, later than that because we left after a show. So probably about 11:30 at night, and we went until 5, 6 in the morning easily. And the only heat was to go in the car in between takes.
The budget then was not what it
Not
is
quite.
to this day. Like I would go out and take it as long as I could possibly take it, and then I'd have to go get in it was his car, which was a little sports car, like a little
The Talon, Eagle Talon.
Eagle Talon or something like that. So I am in there, and I would just start to thaw out, and I get all right, we're ready. Oh my God.
Oh.
You didn't know like if it was good to warm up and then go back out in the
Or
cold,
would make it worse.
or it made it worse. It was absolute misery.
So I have this vision, and I want to see him in the middle of the cemetery, and I want to do a snap zoom, and it's like, but you've got to see that it's snowing like crazy, and that he's just placed in the middle of this cemetery. In order to accomplish that, you've got to place him there. Then we had to brush and move all the snow so that it's smooth, so you don't see the footprints
Makes sense.
going out there.
Yeah.
Cool shot. Very cool shot. Just took a little while
Just
to get there.
a little cold.
And he can't move. So he's like Clint Eastwood and and he's standing there and just, you got it yet? Hang on, baby, we're almost there.
yeah.
And he's just standing there, and Paul Bear's pissed. And he's like, you're ripping him now, Bruce. Go, I'm not ripping him. Look, I gotta get this shot. I gotta do here. I gotta pull out. I gotta do this. And that was some cool shit. And then
You're trying to sell me on it again.
that was cool shit. So and then, because we did great cemetery stuff. I loved going to cemeteries. And that particular cemetery, because that one was in New York, that cemetery, either after that shoot, shortly thereafter, my assistant came in and showed me the front page of the Stanford newspaper. That cemetery had been accused of stacking bodies. And they found them. And this guy would dig holes for us. He would let us go in mausoleums, everything. And
it's true.
Yeah. They would stack. They would just stack, and then like once they knew the family was gone, they'd get rid of that headstone and sell it to another family. And also, sure, we got room. Don't worry about it.
We got plenty of room.
We got plenty.
We got plenty of dirt.
We got plenty of room. And then the Mankind, and I had to do point counterpoint. So
Okay.
it was a buried alive match, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we had that was in Fairfield, and we had the hole dug, and it starts to rain, and everybody's like, "Oh God, we're gonna have to, do this some other time." I'm going, no, this is beautiful, man. You know how much this would cost to do in Hollywood to have a rainy, stormy night in the middle of a cemetery, and we kept shooting, and bought Paul Bear a new suit that night. But the best thing that came out of that was Mankind doing his deal, and he slipped and fell into the hole.
Like legit?
Legit. And I like, keep going. And that's where when he got in the hole, he realized, and he didn't do the line. I said, stay there. I'm going to do a reset. I said, when you get down there, I said, I want to be on top of you, and I want you to look up and go, Paul, this hole's too short for the Undertaker. It's like, it fits me. It won't fit him.
Yeah. That's
good stuff.
Hey, you got to love the finished product, but I'm just talking about the misery of having to do it. Like now you go and do a shoot. You got your trailers, you got catering,
please. We had my car.
Yeah, we had your car and a bag of chips. I think it was about that was catering.
Yeah. I usually had beer too. And Jack and yeah.
Yeah, but by the time it got time where you could actually have it, you're just so miserably cold and frozen that you didn't want it.
That's true.
Well,
but
not
still.
the beer. I think we drank the beer, but
we did. And then Leslie Nielsen. We had a good time with Leslie Nielsen.
Oh my gosh, Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
That was
okay. That's one of those we can't talk about.
what?
No, I think you can.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So Leslie, remember what we did with Leslie in Bridgeport,
When we went to dinner, or
and then after dinner.
what did we do?
So there was
See,
a gentleman's establishment in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
They made
where
me go.
the
Baby.
only thing
They made me go. I didn't want to go.
The chicken wings are good.
he hadn't been there.
I'd never been
No,
there.
he hadn't been there.
Yeah.
But Ed Cohen,
Ed Cohen.
God rest his soul, and we had talked about this place. The only thing that the entertainers wore were knee pads, and that intrigued the hell out of Leslie Nielsen.
Ooh,
And
that would intrigue. Wait.
yeah,
Just-
and so Leslie.
Okay.
So we've talked about this, and Leslie says to us after the Japanese restaurant about this place where the entertainers just wear knee pads, and we went.
Oh.
And we lost Leslie that night. No, he was great though. He was a lot of fun.
So that was the first night that I met him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd
already spent 4 nights with him every
right. So
night,
you were well aware. He had this gimmick that he had the fart gimmick
in his hand.
in his hand, or he would put it in his like we go to this Japanese restaurant, right? This nice like hibachi type restaurant where all the waitresses and everything are they're Japanese, but they're also in the white face with the kimonos on. This is like a nice place.
And he's making them fart all the time?
Yeah. So we sit down and the waitresses come in and then and it's like and it's not like it's loud enough that you can't not hear it, right?
Right.
And you can't not sell.
But it's also not gimmicky either.
No, it doesn't sound
Like it's
like
like
it
legit,
sounds
like
legit. It like sounds legit. And then he blames it on the waitress. Right, and these are like the Japanese are very
proper,
respectful,
like, yes,
very proper,
yes.
and he's like looking at her like, and she's like, no, it was you.
Right.
Oh, I don't know how many. Yeah. Oh, it was.
He would take pictures and hit the fart right on the.
It's funny.
Oh, it was.
He was great.
He was so funny.
Yeah, he was fun to go out with.
Yeah, he was a good time.
He could drink.
He could drink, and he was old school for sure.
Yeah, those were good times.
Uh,
And then,
Hey, I'm warm and I'm eating.
There you
one of
go.
my favorite things was we had a black tie affair, and
New
everybody
York's.
had to go. Everybody had to go to a black tie affair.
In
And
character.
Vince wanted people in character, or their black tie to reflect
Kind
their
of their
character.
character. Yeah.
And so this one wants to get a tux. And it's like, what does he need a tux for? He's always in black tie.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
And he had to wear his gimmick to the lieutenant governor's ball honoring Linda McMahon.
I remember you telling me that. I wish there were pictures.
Unbelievably
I have
uncomfortable.
You have pictures?
I have pictures.
We need pictures.
I
We
do
need
have
pictures.
Everyone is dead. I mean, that's when like who?
That was Rudy
Giuliani?
Giuliani. And I had to keep
Giuliani
you
that
from
I was
choking
ready
him.
to beat up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's marking on the business, and like
Oh.
I was not in the mood to hear his bullshit.
Was it the outfit?
Huh?
Just
Just in general.
Just
in
in general,
general.
just
All
wrestling,
The
in,
wrestlers are here.
wrestling in general,
Oh.
and he's marking on, and I'm already.
no,
In the
but you were
mood.
already in a mad mood because of your outfit.
Yes,
You look good. You were in black tie.
I was in full on Undertaker
Formal
regalia.
wear.
Paul Bearer is dressed like Paul Bearer. Sergeant Slaughter has got it.
camouflage tux.
camouflage
Yeah.
tux on
Ooh,
with
nice.
his DI hat on.
Looking nice.
And oh my god, and everybody else is just macked. Boom! I mean, custom fit. And here we are, like the freaking circus sitting there. And Vince and Linda, of course, are sitting up at the main table next
Right.
to the Shrivers and the
Oh yeah.
all the bigwigs and
And then there's the table of the wrestling people.
the misfits.
Yes.
And we lived up to that name on that evening.
I love it.
And we had, remember we got
Who threw the roll at Vince? Was that
Uh,
you?
but
Did you?
I don't know.
He doesn't remember
I
that.
don't recall that.
You recall everything.
I recall we got a big thing of vodka, big thing of Jack, and then a couple cases of beer, and just had it all underneath
Underneath
the
their
table,
table.
because they stopped serving alcohol once you went into the main deal. And I was like, I don't care what it takes. Need a bottle of Jack, need a bottle of vodka, and need a ton of Coors Light. And so we're hiding it at first, but then the more you get going,
consume,
The
less
like
you care.
There's no room under the table anymore, so we're just putting everything on the table. And he's just drinking out of the bottle now. And Vodkalina's Pat is making his vodka tonics and everything. And it was
That's great.
And then somebody might have thrown a roll at Vince on the
Main
Did,
table.
did somebody hit?
elevated-
Did they
the
hit
table-
Vince with the roll?
The elevated table. Like
Maybe.
we're all down. The peasants are all down
Peasants,
here.
yeah, and the nobles are
And
up
the
top.
nobles are at the top, and somebody.
Have good aim. Did he have good aim?
Oh yeah.
Oh, got him.
Oh, you could tell he had good aim by the look on Linda's face.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Ooh, lordy.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Yeah, we forgot about it pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, she didn't.
No, they did. She
No.
didn't. No,
No.
she was mortified.
I bet.
And
I
I
would've-
said he did it. Yeah, he did it.
It
And
would make- it would
but
make
if
sense.
He but see, if he did it, then there would be no heat.
No. Okay.
It's okay then,
Yeah.
because he was the golden boy.
Gold.
Oh, I was
angel
golden
baby.
boy. I don't think
Angel.
I was the golden boy.
You're the golden boy. You were
No, I
always the
don't- I
golden
don't
boy.
think I was.
You could do no wrong.
Golden
I
egg.
could.
Commit murder, but do no wrong. First man. But do no
First
wrong.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the favorite.
I'm not the favorite.
You're the favorite.
No, I'm not the favorite.
You're the favorite. He's the favorite. Just saying.